Steve, just before we let you go, we really appreciate your time. I want to get your thoughts on something that has been a real issue all season long, this season more than others, and we've noticed it up here in Toronto as well, watching some of the other matchups around the league. It's the refereeing, and some of the calls that are made are just mind-boggling, and some of the decisions that are called are really unbelievable. Do you feel that once and for all, after the season's all said and done, Don Garber, the refs and the players, reps are going to sit down and try and work some things out here? Because, unfortunately, I think they've had, a lot of bad games and not a lot of good games this season. What are your thoughts on that?
Can I be very controversial on your show?
Sure.
I don't agree with you one little bit.
Give me an example.
I think the referees in Major League Soccer, people compare them, I think, to the referees in EPL. That's what league the rest of us watch most. Our referees are probably about half as good as them, and I put that fraction out there. But then again, our players are half as good as them, and our fans are half as experienced and knowledgeable as them. I don't think the refereeing standard in this league lags behind the standard in any other area. So
you would be comfortable in putting a guy like Garber, who went on to represent, let's say, MLS USA in the World Cup, who's had, in my opinion anyway, a real subpar season in the games that I've seen him ref. You'd put him in England, in Italy, and Spain, and not worry at all?
No, I didn't say I'd put him in England or Italy and Spain. What I said was that the referees in Major League Soccer, compared to their counterparts in the EPL, are as a fraction as good as our players are. I don't think the standard of bear this in mind, Anthony, I was brought up watching Scottish football. I've seen guys being sent off against the Old Firm for sarcastic applause.
Wow.
And I've been used to a standard of refereeing so poor in Scotland that I regard what is happening here, as at least it's improving here. It may not be improving as quickly as it is, but I have a simple rule, and I'd like your listeners to apply this rule when watching a game on television. You make your mind up in real time what you thought the call should have been. If you think the call should have been X and the rest gave Y, and subsequent replays prove you were right, yeah, give yourself a pat on the back. But unless you saw something the referee didn't, before all you got the slow motion replays, you're not really in a position to sit at your keyboard and going about how bad refs are. Try and do what they do. And if you're watching a game and you're maybe not cheering, you don't have the red scarf around you, try and be the referee for a game. Try and say what you would do with every call, and then TiVo it back, see how well you did.
You see, but I'd love to see a Howard Webb, a Pierluigi Collino, who's been retired from the game a number of years, come here to MLS in season's end and do some seminars and help some of these young and up-and-coming refs in MLS, because to me, Webb and retired Collino, these are two of the best in my mind. And I forget the Portuguese referee as well. He's fantastic. I would take those three and I would bring them here to North America to help out.
Isn't that what we just did with Peter Walton? We brought one of England's finest referees to run the USL Pro refereeing scheme. So they've already done that.
It's a good start. I think it's a fantastic start. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I think that, I tend to meet Peter Walton every year at MLS Cup. And I talked to him about refereeing, and it is improving. He's under no illusions it's the finished product. But if we want our referees to be as good as they are in the best league in the world, let's also say at the same time our players have a long way to go, and our fans have a long way to go, and our broadcasters and our journalists. I'm in no way exempting my own people. We are still, I think, on equal parts, as far behind the best leagues in the world in all areas equally. I just don't accept the premise, Anthony, that the referees are somehow lagging behind every other aspect of our game.